Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media. Hello, everyone. Uh, Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fall River Media News. I'm your host, Dave Mead. Tonight, I just wanted to come on and I'm going to talk about a little bit about Governor Moore Healy. As of she was live today, and she said that she signed an executive order to for ICE, you know what I'm saying, not to uh, storm churches, schools, um, churches and schools. And but I kind of like really believe that that the federal agents, I mean, they don't really work for the state; they work for the federal government. And I mean, I don't see what authority that Governor Moore Healy has against the ICE agents, because it seems like, you know, basically that's all she talks about. I mean, that's all she talks about is President Donald Trump. She talks about the ICE agents. I mean, what is she? What is she gaining? Out of talking about the uh, the ICE agents, okay? Because they don't work for the state, okay? They work for the federal government. So I don't understand, you know, you know, what is she, what is she gaining on doing that? Okay, you know, Governor Moore Healy, she's, and I don't know what she's hiding, okay, or what stuff that she's hiding, because let me tell you something, okay. She's got to be hiding something. She's got to be, because um, she's, she's always worried about Donald Trump, okay. She's worried about Donald Trump. She's worried about, you know, uh, the ICE agents, okay. The ICE agents, okay, they can, they don't need her approval, okay. They don't really need her approval. She can sign all the executive orders that she wants, okay. Any executive order, all she wants. That's not going to keep the ICE agents, or the federal agents, away, okay. That's not going to keep them away, because again, they work for the federal government. Okay, they don't work for the state. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so I don't know. What does she have to gain? You know what I'm saying? Because first off, she's not going to gain anything. Okay, she's not. Um, Basically, yeah, she's not going to gain anything. The only thing she's going to gain, okay, is having problems on her hands. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, because the federal agents, I mean, they're gonna go into Boston, okay. They're gonna go to Boston whether Governor Moore Healy likes it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they're not gonna listen to her. You know what I'm saying? Um, and plus, they're not gonna, listen to the Boston police. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, so they're not gonna listen to the Boston police, because what they're gonna do is they're just gonna go in there. They're gonna go do their job, okay? Um, like they're gonna do their job like they did in Minnesota, okay? So, and Jersey, New York City, they're gonna do their job regardless, because the state has no, they can't. The state cannot say, "Hey, you can't come in here." Okay, that's what Governor Moore Healy's trying to say. Okay, She's trying to tell the ICE agents, oh, you can't come in here. I signed an executive order. You can't come in here. Okay. Well, guess what? Okay. The ICE agents are going to go there. Okay. They're going to do whatever it takes. Okay. To get the job done. Okay. Oh, well, they can't go into churches. They can't go into schools. They can't go into hospitals. Let me tell you something. That's like telling the FBI, well, you have no jurisdiction here because they have no jurisdiction here. The FBI and the federal government, they have every right, okay, under the Constitution of the United States of America to come in to your city, okay? All right. They do not need warrants, okay? They don't. They can come in, okay, and they can come in here and they can grab you and they can arrest you. The FBI can, okay? The FBI can do that. And so is the federal ICE agents, okay, can actually do the same thing. Because, Governor Moore Healey, she can sign any executive order that she wants. Okay. I looked it up. Okay. And there's nothing saying that, oh, ICE agents, you can try to get a restraining order against them, but guess what? They're not going to pay attention to that either. You know what I'm saying? Because she's state and they're federal. Okay. So basically, there is a, a sense of state and federal. Okay. State, if they were state, then maybe she could do something about it. Okay. But they're not really federal. Okay. They're not really state, they're federal government. And something, my opinion on all that, Governor Moore Healey, she's just, her ratings are so bad. Okay. Okay. Her ratings are so bad. And she's corrupt as sin. She is. She's really corrupt. Okay. And, same thing with Senator Michael Rodrigues, Alan Sylvia, okay, State Representative Cal Fiola, okay. They don't want, and they don't want this. They don't want this audit either, okay. But you know why they don't want the audit? Because they have something to hide, okay. They're hiding something. That's why they don't want the audit, okay. They figure, well, if we put this audit out there, okay, the auditor, Madam Auditor, she's going to find, okay, a whole bunch of money, okay. She's going to find they're going to find money, okay. They're going to find money, okay. So what happened to $350,000? Okay, what did you spend it on? Is it on the books? Probably not. Okay, so it's like, okay, well, so then what you do with the money? You know what I'm saying? Just the same thing with Governor Moore Healey. What did you do with the money? Okay, so he keep going back for money, and you know something, what really ticks, pisses off the taxpayers a lot. Okay, now she's going after the e-bikes. Okay, she wants license plates and insurance on the e-bikes, and she knows that it's a money grab. Okay, she knows it's a money grab. Okay, so Governor Moore Healey, she's going to try to tax and try to make up the money that she stole from the taxpayers. Okay. And she knows this. Okay, she actually knows this, so that's why she's trying to replace the money that that she robbed, and she knows that. Okay, the Driscoll administration, they know that. Okay, the Democrats know that. Well, she's a Democrat, so she knows that. Okay, and trying to make up the money. We know that that's what she's trying to do. Okay, but it's you know taxing taxing the taxpayers, putting more taxes on the taxpayers. She's not trying to ease the burden on the taxpayers. She's trying to put more money on. She's trying to put more taxes, property taxes, rainwater fees on the property owners and stuff. I mean, take a look at it. Okay, it's nonsense. Okay, I mean, Mayor Paul Coogan too, same thing. Okay, the Coogan administration, same thing, trying to put more tax, trying to put taxes on the taxpayers. Okay, okay, they're trying to, they're basically trying to make up the money that they spent. Okay, and they know that they overspent in the budget. Okay, more Healy, Mayor Paul Coogan, Cal Fiola, State Representative Alan Sylvia, same thing. Okay, we know this. Okay, they think that we don't know this, but we do know it. Okay, we know what they're doing, because all the money that they get. Okay, and all the money that Mayor Paul Coogan gets from the state, from the state representatives, and from the state representatives, Cal Fiola, Alan Sylvia, Michael Rodrigues. Okay, they know, but we know that that all this stuff is public. Okay, so all this stuff is public. Okay, so actually, you know what? Let's put it this way: anybody could, look up these things. Okay, anyone. Okay, anybody. Okay, and just like Madam Audit, Diana, she said, you know, anybody could request files. You just got to put a request in. Anybody can. Okay, but it's easier. It's easier to research. It's easy. It's easy to research it, and and get it by that way, because all those things, all those records, the money that they spent, what I'm saying, whether if it's on the illegals, whether if they're uh you know uh buying luxury houses with it or whatever, what I'm saying. But I mean, all that is public. What I'm saying. All those records, all those records, Fifth Avenue. How you doing? Yeah. So all that is basically public. So I mean, you can. You know what I'm saying. So you actually can look up this, but I mean, why even go after e-bikes? Okay, and so she must be that desperate, because because she must be that desperate to go after e-bikes. You know what I'm saying? She's going after e-bikes. Okay, so she got to be that desperate. You know what I'm saying? Because, and she knows that once the audit, once she starts being audited, and then they're already questioning her, where is all the money going? Okay, but she doesn't have an answer. Okay, because right now the state she's already been sued, and she's already being sued again. Okay, because of her nonsense. Oh, I was an attorney general. So what? Big deal, you were attorney general. Okay, so what? Oh, I was an attorney general. Yeah, big deal. Who cares? Okay, I don't care if was the Pope's magistrate. Okay, let me tell you something, Governor Healy. Okay, uh, you have no right to do what you're doing. Okay, You have no right whatsoever. Okay, all right, to do what you're doing to the taxpayers. Okay, to do what you're doing to taxpayers, and and trying to make up the money that you stole. Okay, that the money that you stole, you're trying to make it up. So figure, well, okay, you know what? The taxpayers find anything, tax it, get the money for it and everything. Oh, okay, I made up the money. You know what I'm saying? So just like Michael Rodriguez, okay, same thing. So corrupt, anyways. Oh, look at soon's Brian Shortsleeve mentioned and Boomer Amaral, okay, they were talking about Station 9 in New Bedford, right? All of a sudden, boom, they came up with the money. They started throwing money out there. Oh, all of a sudden, you came up with, what, $9 billion? Wow. So all of a sudden, you come up with all this money, okay? And now the firehouse gets to stay open in New Bedford, okay? So, see? Because they know, okay, they know that these people are going to get caught soon, okay? So I mean, they're going to get caught soon, and having the audit, okay, and Michael Rodriguez, you cannot audit another legislator. Of course you can. I looked that up too. Of course you can. The reason why he don't want it, because know why? Because he don't want to get caught with his hands in a cookie jar. That's why. So I mean, that is why. And they know this, okay? And they know we know this. You know what I'm saying? So now the election is heating up. Okay, so the election's heating up really bad. So right now, Governor Moore Healey, she's getting nervous. Michael Rodriguez and Alan Sylvia. And it's not to say Mayor Paul Coogan is getting very nervous too. Okay, because why is he spending? Why is he spending so much money? How come he's raising the budget up? Okay, why does he want the? How come the 2.5? How come Governor Moore Healey is trying to get rid of the 2.5? Okay, so why is Governor Moore Healey trying to get rid of the 2.5 over the 2.5? Why is she trying to get rid of it? I told you they got something to hide. Okay, and that's pretty sad. Okay, because they know that they're getting nervous. I mean, I've seen a live video today of Governor Moore Healey. Yeah, she's talking. She had the pastor on. She had I signed an executive order. I signed in an executive order so the ICE agents can stay away from schools and churches and stuff. Let me tell you something. That is not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen, and I'll tell you right now, it's not going to happen because those executive orders are only state. Okay, not federal. Okay, so it's not going to happen. I already know that. Okay, and you know something, she makes me laugh because comes out and she calls us shenanigans. She's a shenanigan. Okay, she's a shenanigan herself, and she's calling people shenanigans. Wow, amazing. How she can call people shenanigans. Okay, she should look at herself because she's a shenanigan. Mayor Paul Coogan, he's also a shenanigan. Okay, Cal Filola, she's also a shenanigan. Okay, you know something? Mayor Wu, she's also a shenanigan. Okay, you know what? And that's my right and freedom of speech to say that they are shenanigans, not us. Okay, because them are the ones are getting nervous, and we're just sitting here watching the show. Okay, and you know what? Sooner or later, they'll all be arrested and they'll all be in jail because you want to know why? Because every single one of them had their hand in a cookie jar. Okay, they had their hand in a cookie jar, and And let me tell you something else, okay? They've been actually cooking the books too. And we all know that they've been cooking the books, okay? You know, cooking the books and stuff, okay? But I mean, they know this. They're just, like, so they're just like, oh, the taxpayers don't know this. Taxpayers are stupid and dumb. No, we're not dumb. And plus, we're not shenanigans. You guys are the shenanigans, okay? Because at the end, okay, at the end of this election, well, I'm going to be laughing at Governor Moore Healy. I'm going to be laughing at Cal Fiola. I'm going to be laughing at Alan Silver. And I'm going to be laughing at Mayor Paul Coogan when he's done being recalled, okay? When he's done. Because you know something? That is not right to rip off the taxpayers and charge the taxpayers more money, okay? Even the property owners more money and property taxes, okay? Okay, talk about where shenanigans. Wow, I mean, Governor Moore Healy, though, I'll tell you though, she made me laugh. Okay, when I was watching her live stream, calling those shenanigans. Yeah, all the shenanigans out there. Well, the shenanigan is her. She's the shenanigan. She's the one that's going to get caught. Okay, because look what she does. Okay, well, why don't she say that she doesn't like the American people? Why don't she say that? Okay, why don't she come out and say, hey, look, you know what? I'd rather support the illegals than support American people. Why don't she come out and say that? Okay, she has no guts to say anything like that. Okay, if she was she has no guts to say that. Okay, to the American people. Okay, she comes on, acting all nicey. I'm going to do this for the people. I'm going to do this for the people. Okay, and the people that she had on her live stream. Okay, the people that she had on her live stream today. Let me tell you something. Okay, I'll bet you any money. Okay, or coffee that those people that she had on her live stream. Okay, ain't even citizens in this country. Okay, I know they're not. I know they're not. And and she also thinks that we're stupid. I know. I know this country was built on immigration. I know that. Okay. But you know what? Because you know something? My ancestors came here. Okay, with a green card. Okay. My ancestors came here the right way with the green card. Okay. What is wrong with coming here the right way? Okay. What is wrong with coming in here and with green tape, red tape? Go through the red tape like everyone else does. Okay. My ancestors did it. Okay. They actually basically came here, then they went right through the red tape here. Okay. All right. Why can't they do it? Okay. The reason why they don't want to, because they want free stuff. That's what they want. All right. Let's go to America and let's get free stuff. And let's go and get a handout. We can stand on corners. We can beg. We can go ask people for money. We can go to the stores and shoplift. We can go rob whatever we want because it's free. You know who started that? Not know who started that crap? Mr. Biden started that crap. That's what he did. Okay. America's not free. Okay. And let me tell you something. Okay. If we had free stuff here, okay, believe me, I'd be saving my money, okay, and I'd be getting things for free. I live here in America and I have to pay throughout the nose for groceries. Okay. All right. I don't get food stamps. I have to work for my money. Okay. Okay. I have to work to eat, and I have to go to the food pantry on a Thursday and go get extra food when it's needed. okay, why these people are getting, okay, why these people are getting, okay, $600-700 for 3 families, $800 for 4 families, okay? So tell me who is the damn shenanigan, okay? Governor Moore Healy, tell me who is the shenanigan. Who is robbing who, okay? You can't go around saying that, we're shenanigans. You're robbing the taxpayers, okay? You're robbing us, okay? Food prices are through the roof because of you, okay? And because of Mayor Paul Coogan, okay? But you go ahead and blame the president of the United States, okay? When it's all this stuff you're doing, you go around bragging. Oh, I did. I shut down a whole bunch of pipelines. Wow, such a bragger. Wow. And you know something? Now, you know what? That's costing the taxpayers money, okay? It's costing us money. Okay. You know why it's costing us money? Because of your stupidity, stupidity bull. Okay. Shutting down pipelines and everything, shutting down this, bragging about this and bragging about that. And you know who's going to get stuck in a hole later? You are. Okay. Because your ratings are going down the tubes. And I can't wait for election to come because the taxpayers of Massachusetts, we are done with you. We are going to vote you out. You're going to be voted out. Okay, and it's either Brian Shortsleeve or there's quite a few of them are running for. Quite a few of them are running for governor, and let me tell you, and a lot of the state reps are going too. Okay, so they're also going to be voted out too as well. Okay. Because you know something? We are the people. We need transparency. Okay. Transparency. Okay. Common sense to bring it back. And we don't have any of that stuff. You know why we don't have it? Because of Governor Moore Healy. Because of Elizabeth Warren, Joe, the former president, Joe Biden. It's because of you guys. We don't have this common sense anymore. Okay. There ain't no common sense. Okay. That common sense went through that out the window. Okay. And it's sad because now our kids today, they don't listen to nobody. Okay. And they don't care about listening. Okay. You know why they don't care about listening? Because government don't listen. Okay. Government seems to do whatever they want. So yes, you can blame the parents, but I blame the government because you want to know why? Because the government does what they want. And let me tell you this one again. The government does what they want. And now the kids think, okay, the young adults today think that they can do what they want. Okay. So, where is showing the example? Okay. Showing example. Okay. Telling the kids, hey, look, do this right, do that right. You know what I'm saying? Go to school, go learn, stay out of trouble, don't get in trouble. So what happened to that? Okay. That's why the kids don't listen today. Okay. Because of government don't care. So the kids are like, okay, you know what? Wait, you know something? And you go and tell people, okay, you go and tell people, your vote don't matter. Your vote does matter. Your vote does matter. Okay, it does. Okay, it does matter. Okay, so come election, it's time to change administrations. Okay, and plus the audit too as well. I mean, it's a shame. Okay, that we are having this conversation. Okay. Okay. It's a shame that we are having this conversation right now. Okay. And having this conversation if things would have if things would have gotten done right, and if the audit went through at 72%, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Now we're having this conversation because you guys don't care. You guys are denying the audit. Okay, Michael Rodriguez is denying the audit. Okay, Governor HELLY, she's also denying more. Mayor Wolf from Boston is also denying the audit too. Okay, so you know something, this is going to be great because you know something, we're going to be looking through your finances. There's no why, because it's all public and you can't do nothing about it. So the audit is going to look through all your finances, because you know what, we want to, us taxpayers, okay, want to know where all the money is being spent. Okay, and for right now, as the way I look at it, the way I see it, okay, our infrastructure, okay, our infrastructure is deteriorating. Okay, we got holes this big. Go online, we got holes this big in the street. Okay, you know why? Because you guys are taking the money and spending it somewhere else, and we know. So now yous are all getting nervous, and now taxing us. Okay, taxing us and more taxes. Okay, going after property owners and everything else and taxing them. Governor HELLY is going after e-bikes. Okay, going after e-bikes. Yeah, I know the kids are reckless. Okay, but you're taking it out on everybody. Okay, everyone. Okay, and that's not right. Okay, to do that. Okay, take it out on everybody. So you guys are completely, the government is overreaching and they're out of line for what they're doing. Okay, they're out of line. Okay, Governor HELLY's overreaching. She's out of line. And you know something? Good. You know something? I hope she gets sued again. Okay, because you know something? That will show that that there's some things that she can't do. Okay, if I was to, I'd sue her myself. I'd sue the state myself. Okay, I would file a lawsuit against her. Okay, because taxing people, taxing the taxpayers, and overreaching, then denying federal agents coming into Massachusetts and bragging about, I signed an executive order. What does that mean? That's a state executive order. That's not going to keep the ICE agents out. Think again. It's federal. It's like telling the FBI they can't come here no more. Wow. Ain't that tremendous? That's exactly really good. I mean, Governor HELLY, you make me laugh. Okay, you're a clown. You're a joke. Okay, you are. You're the best joker. Okay, I'm sure that people would love to listen to your performance on the stage because you're a joke. Okay, federal agents, come on. So what's the next thing you're going to do? Shut down people's live streams? Sign an executive order for that? Yeah, you're overreaching. That's what you're doing. The government is overreaching. And that's what she's doing. Mayor Paul Coogan's overreaching. Governor HELLY's overreaching. State Representative Cal Fiola, she's overreaching. Okay. Alan Sylvia is overreaching. Okay. Alan Sylvia was supposed to sign something for the veterans, But you know what? He signed against the veterans. Okay? Overreaching. Government is overreaching. That's pretty sad. It is. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? When you have government overreaching. Wow. Don't care about the American people, but care about the illegal aliens that are in this damn country, though, right? That is a shame. It is. Okay. You know, fighting, back and forth. Mayor Wolf, same thing. Mitchell, same thing. Wow. You don't think I watch this stuff, man? I watch this stuff because you know why? Because it gives me something to talk about. Okay. It gives me something to talk about on my live stream because I love it. Okay. I actually honestly love to talk about this stuff because the other day, even on our market basket there, I mean, I had my live stream going on my former media group, okay, just like I'm doing now. Guy comes, he talks about uh, Venezuela, he talks about Donald Trump. I'm like, okay, so I wasn't even talking about that stuff. He brought up he works at Market Basket. He's a cook over there. I mean, if you see him, he's got a slight accent. Okay, and let me tell you, it's 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 this is like really nonsense. Okay, I mean, look at you know, I mean, this place is like a mess. Okay, I want to say the whole entire country's a mess, but you know, but I hope the war in Iraq ends soon because I do. I hope they come across a peace treaty, and every time Trump puts a peace treaty in there, they want to stay in war. You know what I'm saying? I mean, war shouldn't even be the first resort. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, um, and now they're talking about drafting. They're talking about drafting and and drafting young adults and stuff. Well, maybe these young adults need to go. You know what I'm saying? Some of them need to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll smarten up. You know what I'm saying? And look for what it is. You know what I'm saying? When they have to hold an AR-15 in their hand and they're fighting a war. Okay. So I mean, these young adults, some of these young adults that like to fight, so they can go to war and they can go fight over there. Okay, but it's a shame. It is. It's horrible. A war shouldn't be, the first thing. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because wars don't end well. You know what I'm saying? Wars, people die. Even when we put aircrafts in the air, you know what I'm saying? Even when we put F-16s in the air, and we have Navy ships out there. We have tanks all over the place. You know what I'm saying? We have the Marines, Navy. We have Coast. We have the names, Air Force, Marines, Army. You know what I'm saying? You name it out there. I mean, that's the first thing that we don't want. But sometimes things, have to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the most of the time, if you really look at it, they fight about money. It's about either money, oil, okay, or countries, okay. So those are the things that they most fight over, or they fight over borders, who's going to get what, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but again, you know what I'm saying? Governor Moore Healy should, should be looking at, okay, you know what, you know, hey, I'm spending uh 3.7 billion or 3.8 billion dollars, and I shouldn't be taxing the taxpayers. I shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? What she's doing is she is taxing us all the time. Okay. And and it's very hard for us to adjust. It's very hard for us because the working class people of out in this country. Okay, I've had people tell me, and let me tell you something. And I work at a store. Okay, I work in a market. I've seen grocery prices. Okay, and I've also went other places too and seen grocery prices. Them grocery prices are so high in some places. Okay, people tell me, hey, I walk out of there with 2 bags and I pay $285 just for 2 bags. Sometimes on a good day, I'll walk out of there with three, you know what I'm saying, and pay 150. But she is saying, I said, look, sometimes, we have things on sale. Sometimes we have chicken, we have ham, we have dairy products, you know what I'm saying, on sale at Stop and Shop. Okay, sometimes we do. And let me tell you, okay, um, and sometimes on a good day, maybe the first or the third of the month, you could basically walk out of there with about 5 or 6 bags, a little more uh, than you would during the week. You know what I'm saying? You know, but sometimes yes, sometimes no. You know, uh, even market basket sometimes. You know, their prices in some aisles. And I've been there, and and I go buy things there too. There some of the prices in there are not good either. You know what I'm saying? You know, people got to look at this, okay? And the taxpayers get mad. They get upset because even the elderly, they get upset, and they're one of the best voters. Okay, the highest voters between the Latinos and the Portuguese. Okay, all right, they're the highest. Okay, you know, and when somebody runs for public office, right away they go to the Latinos and the Portuguese, okay, and the Portuguese people and the elderly, for votes. You know what I'm saying? But I think right now it is time to change administrations. It does, okay, and because we the people, man, we're tired. Okay, we're tired of the same old stuff. Okay, the same old lies. Okay, the same old lies. Okay, and it is. It's the same old lies all the time. Okay, you know, so it's time to change administrations because if we don't change administrations now, people are leaving, business are closing down. Do you really want that around here? Then all you got to do, all it is a ghost town. Okay, there are more businesses closing down because of the Healy Driscoll administration, Mayor Paul Coogan, and the state representatives, okay, that we have in office now. That's why these businesses are closing down. Businesses are moving, okay? People are moving out here rapidly, okay? If you notice and you see U-Haul trucks. You know why? Because of property tax. Because of the food prices are outrageous here. Market rate housing is outrageous here. It's crazy. If I had another place to go, I'd move too because of the prices that are going on here. People are tired of the same thing all the time, okay? The same thing. It's time to change administrations. It's time to get that audit and finding out where all this money's going. We need that audit. That is the first thing we need. Once we get that audit and we get her in, okay, I know she's gonna audit all legislators. I know that. So my opinion, I hope they come clean and say, hey, look, and give up paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Which is they won't do that. Know why? Because they're not dumb. Or they're not stupid enough to give up paperwork. They're not stupid enough to admit and say, hey, you know what? I spent this money here when that money was supposed to go on infrastructure. I was supposed to lower taxes when I hired taxes and she lied to get back in. I know we know that Governor Moore Healey's a liar. We know that. Of course we do. We all know. And we all know she's a shenanigan. She calls us a shenanigan. Yeah. Little all she knows, she's the shenanigan instead. Okay. Because I've always believed in one thing. Okay. It's calm before the storm. Okay. And when that election is heating up, and Brian Shortsleeve and the rest of them that are running, one of them is bound to get in. One of them, okay, one of them, either Brian Shortsleeve or the other guy, one of them, okay, one of them is about to get in, okay, one of them, okay, and people are struggling, okay, we're all struggling, we're all trying to thrive here in America. We can't because of what we have in office. Okay, right now. We're trying to strive, we're trying to thrive. We can't. Sometimes we don't even have money to feed our children. Okay? Some days we can't buy anything. Okay? We cannot even save money because of Governor Moore Healey, because of Mayor Paul Coogan, because of Alan Sylvia and Cal Viola, the state. We can't thrive. We can't. Okay? We're trying to. We're trying to thrive. Okay? But we can't save anything. Okay? We all have to scrape up for what we have. Okay? Because of the Driscoll and Healey administration and the Coogan administration and the Fiolas and Alan Sylvia administration. Okay? We're trying to thrive and we can't. Because you know why? Because they are spending money elsewhere. Coogan's spending money on market rate housing, getting rich. The Healey and Driscoll administration feeding the illegals more money, raising taxes, raising property taxes on the homeowners. And they say this is our fault. No, it's their fault. We're the taxpayers, okay? And we know that they are corrupt, okay? They are corrupt badly, okay? And they have the nerve to say Fall River's thriving. Fall River is not thriving, okay? It's not, okay? It's not thriving. I wish I could say it is, but it's not. I'm out there every day, okay? Fall River is not thriving. Don't say it's thriving, Coogan, and it's not, okay? You guys are out of your minds, okay? If Fall River's thriving. If Fall River was thriving, we have storefronts all up here in the Flint. We have storefronts everywhere. People would be shopping, and we would have tourism in the city, okay? If Fall River was thriving. Fall River is not thriving. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay to lie to yourself, okay? If you want to lie to yourself, Mr. Coogan, go right ahead. Same thing with the Driscoll administration. You want to lie to yourself, go right ahead. Have fun lying. Because you know something? Every lie that you tell, you have to make up 10 of them. So, have at it. It's sick. I mean, and let me tell you, that came from, I believe that came from not Reagan, Abraham Lincoln. Okay. If you tell one lie, you'll have to make up 10 of those lies. So you guys can have fun and try to, lie your way out of, lie your way out of things that you say that's going to thrive here, and that Fall River is thriving. Fall River is not thriving. No way, man. I see people moving out. Businesses are closing down. We had a furniture store downtown. I believe at one point. That place did not ask that place was only there for a few months, and it ended up closing down. Because you want to know why? First off, the rent's too high over there. Okay, the water bill, electric bill is too high, and they were making money, but why keep something? Why keep a business if they're not going to thrive here in Fall River? They're not thriving here in Fall River. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you look at all the videos that Jared Carson and all put up, there's a lot of empty stores down there. Okay, look at Bank Street Armory. Never got done. Okay, they're worried about passing on, giving money to other things that don't even matter in Fall River. Okay, Mayor Paul Coogan lies about the crime rate here in the city of Fall River because he is a liar. And him too, same thing. Okay, I had no choice to vote for him because nobody ran against him. Nobody wanted to. And now look at the city's a done mess. For real, it is. I've always admired where I live. Okay, I love living here. That's why I will continue on fighting for it. Okay, I love living here. Okay, I love my city. I love the people. But there ain't no transparency here at all. No respect for anybody. Crime up the galore here. Okay. Fire, stabbing, and shootings all over Fall River. I mean, you hear it all the time. Okay. You think Mayor Paul Coogan cares? No, of course not. You know? Know what? Because he's an idiot. That's why. Okay. And he knows during that recall. Matter of fact, there is a let me pull something up. I really want to actually share it too. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. I think I shared it to my Facebook page. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's see. Let's go to my Facebook page and see. All right, so let's go to Facebook and we'll see what's going on here. All right, so we're gonna oh, I punched in the wrong one. See my Facebook account. I think I posted it up here. Oh, cute little dog. All right. Yeah, she's a clown. Yeah. Oh, breaking news. The Trump and DOJ is suing Massachusetts, Maine, Washington, Oregon for blocking the federal agents, included ICE, from obtaining undercover license plates. Yeah. Massachusetts audit. Massachusetts Senate voted to release the limited final records to the auditor. Dizago, ongoing audit battle. So in an audit battle, so that's pretty good for her. Diana, she's pretty good. I like her. I'm gonna vote for her. Let's see here. Let's see what do we got here. Let me see something here. Huh? Yeah. Let me check out some things here. Yeah. I've already let me see this. And those are the potholes. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, she's a Maura Healey's a douche. Yeah, she's a douche. And she'll always be one. There's no catch feeling with that. You know what I'm saying? So let me check out something here. Hey, prices. They prices are so unpredictable though, Fall River. Oh yes, they are, and they'll always be predictable. Don't matter, what it is. Yeah, so they'll always be predictable. It doesn't matter. So it's kind of crazy to to see things for what they are. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I want to, I honestly, I really like to uh, listen to. So I really honestly like to, um, you know, um, play that because the reason why I like to play that, let's see,
It's almost bizarre. You've reached like rock star status around here. It's crazy, and this is Florida's red now, right?
Unfortunately, I never got invited on to Star Search, Ed McMahon. Okay, so
I
that
think
was
you'd be
not one of the
okay
things
this
that
time, though. I
happened.
mean, you're incredibly popular with Republicans and with Democrats and the middle. I mean, everyone. I know that when I posted that I had met you at Alan Sylvia's event, got over 1,000 likes and not one negative comment, which is unheard of, right?
Oh yeah, especially since I definitely have trolls that follow me around.
I mean, where are they though? I can't find them
They'll
anywhere.
show up. They'll show up.
Okay.
And you know what? But I do appreciate. I hear what you're saying, and thank
Yeah.
you. And I think that the issues that we work on in the auditor's office, they're pretty unifying, right?
Right.
People want transparency. People want accountability.
Yeah.
And I have the privilege, and I do count this as a really big privilege, of getting to serve the people of this state, my neighbors, in a constitutional office. I'm a statewide elected official.
You're part of the executive branch.
I am a constitutional officer.
Yeah.
It is part of executive department, so to speak, but I
Right.
don't answer to the governor. So it's not like I'm an executive
Who
branch
do you answer
agency
to?
under the governor. I answer
Yeah.
to people. That's it. That's it.
That's
The
pretty
people of the
amazing.
Commonwealth. That's
Yeah.
why. So constitutional offices, the reason why they're called constitutional offices is because we are not appointed by anybody.
that is true. They're not
We're
appointed.
subservient to the legislature or to the governor's office. We're subservient to the people of the state under the Constitution, we the people. And I get to be elected or not elected, depending on what you all think of my performance, my positions, how I'm doing the job.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm very humbled and honored to be elected to such a position because it's afforded the opportunity to really make a difference when it comes to shining a light on some of the dark areas of our state
Yep.
government that
Right.
have really been neglected for far too long. And I think that it's been inspiring for me to see so many
course,
people
a
coming
lot of
out the
our-
woodwork and saying, "Oh
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
our,
we want transparency. We
elected
want to see the
officials,
receipts. We want to
okay,
see these state contracts."
You know, it's been
Because it can feel like a lonely
neglected.
place at the
Of
state
course
house
it
when you're
has.
trying to do your job. And let's be
You know?
honest, nobody's running towards auditors. Okay.
Are you?
Yeah,
lonely?
nobody's running towards auditors.
Yeah, I would say at the state house, yes. When I come out in the communities, absolutely not.
No, I've seen
Absolutely not.
that. Yeah.
And I think that at the state house right now, because of the law-breaking behavior of the speaker and the Senate president in particular, with their refusal to be audited by our office, as the law requires that 72% of you voted for,
Yep.
that there's a lot of fear from the legislators. There is, this desire to make sure that they're able to get their money to come back to communities like this, and fear of retaliation, because there is retaliation.
That is true too.
And people, are
Everybody-
generally speaking,
everybody's
scared
fear
to
of,
speak out
retaliation.
there. And even if they like me on a personal level, right?
Yeah.
And even if we've been friendly throughout the years, and even if they kind of look at me, I'll kind of see like their face kind of feel bad about what's going on. They still don't really want to talk to
Their
me.
jobs are more important.
Right. And their jobs, in their opinion, is to bring home the bacon for their district and to make sure they're able to get their bills passed into law. And the speaker and Senate president hold so much power that they're able to block them from doing that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they have to make a decision. Are they going to talk
Absolutely.
to me and be friendly and be engaging and work with my office? Or are they going to do well in the budget?
Kind of sucks.
It's a hostage situation.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
hate to say that, but some legislators will disagree with me.
Yeah.
Not all. You just saw Representative Alan Sylvia in
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
He knows. He used to sit next to me in the House of Representatives when we served as state reps together. We got to know each other pretty well, and even though Alan and I come from completely different backgrounds in different areas of the state, we got to know
Alan
each other.
Sylvia, another
very
corrupt
well while we served in the
politician.
House of Representatives.
So is
and
Michael
Alan's someone
Rodrigues.
who knows that it's a very tough position to be in, where you know that the speaker is going to retaliate, but you also know that your district wants you to vote your conscience and be independent and do what's best for the voters. And not to break the law, right? So people like Alan do exist up there.
Yeah.
It's just few and far between these days.
I'm a huge fan, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Because he's my rap.
thank you. I'm a huge fan too.
Yeah.
He's someone who we don't always agree. Nobody does. I always tell
Not
people,
really a
we
big
just
fan of
have
Alan
to
Sylvia,
understand,
that's
and
for
they're like,
sure.
"Oh, no." And I go, well, great. If you agree with me like 60 or 70%
Nah, I
of
ain't-
the time,
nah,
I
ain't-
think we're doing really well.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
I'm not a big fan of
I
Alan
used to knock
Sylvia
on
at
doors
all.
when I was a state rep. I served for 6 years as a state rep, 4 years as a state
Hey,
senator.
Jake.
And I used to, when I would knock on doors, it would be actually hilarious because I'd be like, hey, I'm running for local office over here. I want to be your state representative. And a husband and wife would come to the door
Arguing already.
and they would be arguing with each other, like to me. And I would have to look and go, well, I see both of your points on these issues. But it's something where you don't have to agree with people on every single issue, but you do have to learn how to be able to agree to disagree without being disagreeable, right?
That is true.
And
Yeah.
that's it. And civil discourse. And
I
and
mean, you
civility.
gotta
And
you
honestly,
gotta
just
agree to
kindness.
disagree.
You know, Alan and I voted together a lot
Yeah.
on different things, and then we voted differently on certain things.
Yeah.
But we were always respectful. We were always kind with each other. We could take a vote, be on the same side, and then the next vote be on the opposite side, and look at each other and go, "So, what are your plans for the weekend?" You know, and that's it. So,
Are you not seeing that up there at the State House?
no, I'm not seeing that up at the State House, and that is the way that it did used to be with certain colleagues, not all.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate because I believe that partisan politics has gotten out of control. I believe that
It has gotten out of
you know,
control.
Unfortunately, the style of governance at the State House has become very dictatorial more than it used to be. It used to be really dictatorial. It's even more
Seems that way.
dictatorial than it
Yeah.
used to be. And we should not allow for our State House to be a system where retaliation and punishment rule the day, and where if someone comes out in the support of something that the Speaker or Senate President or their people in leadership don't like, that they're going to tell that person that they're not getting their budget
Yep.
requests, or that they're not going to show up to their event and endorse them anymore.
Yeah. Do you
It's
have
kind of
fear? Do you have any
ridiculous.
fear?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have said to me, "What, man, you're fearless," and I'm thinking, no, I just feel the fear. and
Nah,
I
she
try to
is
do it
fearless.
anyways.
Yeah.
And that is working.
And
up
that's
the
good.
courage.
Yeah.
I work up the courage to take positions on things. And look, it takes me some time
Yeah,
to
good
work
for
up
her.
the courage
I'm
on
sure,
different
I'm
things,
sure.
right? I mean, I had to take on a couple of courts recently, a couple of judges who
Good.
were breaking the law.
A lot of judges were
And
breaking the law.
They refused to be audited. And I didn't know what to do about it immediately. I'm not an attorney. And I thought to myself, what the heck am I going to do now? These judges are now breaking the law after the 72% voter mandate happened. They're refusing to be audited
Yeah.
themselves. The courts
Even the judges are
and
refusing
I
to
didn't
be
know what to
audited.
do. And I
They're corrupt.
tried to work with my team, tried to work with them, tried to find a path forward. And
Yeah.
I was
They're
scared of what
corrupt.
people were going to say about me and think about me, that now I'm talking about the courts breaking the law.
Yeah, that's a big one.
But they were.
Yeah.
And they have always been audited. And this was the first time throughout history that we could find that they had said, oh, you know what? The Attorney General's not making the legislature be audited, so we're not going to be audited either. And I said, okay, that's wrong. But I also had to navigate how to approach that, how to address it, how to make sure that, you know, I was getting rid of as many trolls as possible in the
Yeah.
meantime, you know,
Yeah.
in my fears, right? And I
Yeah,
had to
you
get
gotta
over
get
it.
rid
I
of
had to
the
come out and say,
trolls. You know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
But
this is wrong. And somebody actually said back to me
yeah,
the
he
first
even
time I
got
said
the
it.
he even
"Well,
got
what do you
the
say? It's
what do you
just
call
you
it? The
versus
judges
everybody
breaking the
else up
law.
there?" And
Wow.
I had to look back and say no. But I knew that type of comment was going to
These
come.
are your
right? And it
elected
wasn't
officials
derogatory
breaking the
nature, It
law.
was just a question. I knew that question was going to come. No, it's not me
And
versus everybody else
they
there.
worry
It is
about
I
other
am one of
people out there
millions of
breaking the
people
law.
who was looking
And
at
the
this
judges,
system and
prosecutors,
saying, this is not okay. Why do we even have
these
laws
are
that
elected
you're allowed to
officials
be
that are
working like
breaking the
that? You
law.
know, if something's accidental, okay.
No
Or someone did
transparency.
something wrong, you know, they sped, you get a ticket.
Yeah.
You park in the wrong spot, you get a ticket, right? There are things that have consequences for these actions, but this has just been blatant, willful, continued law breaking with no repercussions. with no enforcement of the law, with an attorney general who has refused to enforce the law.
Oh, the Attorney
and
General
with us trying to
Campbell.
get access to the courts and not being
Campbell,
blocked.
she's
So
something
yeah,
else,
when I had
man.
to talk about that issue with the courts, it was hard, but
Yeah.
I did it. And you know, we've been able to make progress so far. We've been able to go back and start an audit of the courts again, and we'll see how it goes.
It just seems like a big.
But it's taken me coming out talking about this, and it's been nerve-wracking. It has been.
Well, it's good that she's coming out and talking about all this to the taxpayers and stuff, which is good. You know what I'm saying? She's letting us know what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying?
Because I ran for mayor, it was a horrific nightmare for me. But I always tell people, use your voice; they'll listen.
Mm-hmm.
We did use our voice; they're not listening, right? So
yeah, we used to use our voice too, and they didn't listen, which is Christopher's right.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That is exactly what I've been trying to stress to people, is that people say, man, you know, my detractors, they'll basically say, she's just an angry woman. She's hell-bent on this.
No.
It's like some crusade, right?
She's not.
I mean,
she's not an
whatever,
angry
we all have
woman.
haters, right?
She's
I
just
have a
out
lot more
there.
done
She
being
wants to
elected
know where the
office
tax money, where
I
the
have a
tax
platform to
people's
talk
money
about these
is.
things, so you get a lot more people focusing on what you're doing.
Basically.
And it is what it is. But I'll tell you this: my issue is actually not even with this audit. You know, it's with the fact that democracy is being undermined. Now, don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah,
the
well,
audit's
democracy,
important,
yeah, it is being undermined.
but the audit is an audit. Okay, I'm not kept up at night about one audit not getting conducted.
It's an operational thing, but there is a process. People have
What
spoken.
I'm concerned about
It is it is operational. It is a process.
Democracy is being undermined, and the message that they're sending to the voters is that your vote doesn't count. So why bother voting?
That's
okay?
what I mean, and that's why. The
And
people
that's
of
not
Florida
okay.
don't vote,
Right, because that's what they want, though. That's what they want.
Right, a
they
quiet
want
constituent,
quiet
is a good
constituency, right?
Yeah.
So that you're not complaining,
Yeah.
so that incumbents can get reelected. And look, I'm an incumbent, right?
Yeah.
But we need to make sure that people have access to all the information they need to
That
make
is true,
informed
yeah, of course.
decisions. I mean, it's why I take interviews sometimes with, you know, folks who might even disagree with me on this stuff, because they're going to sit there and say, well, you're this and you're that and whatever. And I'll sit there and say, well, great. If you disagree with me, I mean, look, isn't it great that we live in an environment where you don't have to vote for me if you don't want to?
Is this going to teach us, though, that just be quiet because it's not going to matter?
No, it's not going to.
72%. This is
No,
not
I
50%.
refuse.
This is 72% of the population said we want an audit, and then
Exactly.
we get the obstacles thrown in our face.
We do get the obstacles thrown in our face, but that's why we have to keep on fighting. And I am refusing to give up.
Yeah.
Please don't think for a second that I haven't wanted to quit this job many times during the course of the last few years. Okay? I keep doing this. I made a commitment. First of all, I love the actual job.
Yeah.
What I don't like is the gaslighting,
Yeah.
the lying, the manipulation on Beacon Hill, the law breaking, then blaming me, blaming my office for their actions, blaming the people, you know, violating laws after we spent all this time, energy, resources, financial resources, but also time and energy getting a ballot question passed. That was exhausting. That took so many people's time, energy, donations, and then they came out to vote after collecting all these signatures after we finally got on the ballot. It is demoralizing. It is disheartening. It is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
People say to me, what's the point? And I don't blame them, because I have asked myself the same question. Okay, so I ask the same questions that we all ask ourselves. What's the point is that if we give up, they're going to get to just break the law, act like this is a dictatorship, undermine the results of the election anytime they want to, and get away with it and get paid for doing so. We cannot allow that. So we have to keep showing up. We have to keep showing up. We have to keep voting, and we have to keep vigilant on this, Chris. Okay. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine.
I just wanted to finish that thought that we have to keep showing up, and we have to make sure that they don't for a second think that the people are going to forget about what they voted for, because the people are a lot smarter than the way they're being treated right now by this dictatorial speaker and Senate president.
I mean, people are angry. I just went through the comments, thousands of them.
Of course they are.
They're all angry. Everyone's angry. I don't think everyone has the, all the minutia of everything that's going on, but who specifically is stopping our voices from being heard?
You don't need to, just for the first thing, you don't need to be an experienced lawyer,
Yep.
accountant,
Just a
politician.
cook.
That is so too.
You're
Yeah.
fantastic. Coffee barista. Okay. This coffee is fantastic.
But I represent most people in the city.
Well, what
We
I will
wanna
say is
know.
this. What I will say is this. You don't have to be an expert in,
Yep.
in the work of the office to understand when you're being played.
Right.
Right, Chris? We know when we're being played.
Yeah.
And Chris has said that he's a lay person and
Yep.
whatnot. My mother was 17 years old when she had me. Okay? She gave birth to me on what was supposed to be her graduation date from high school. She didn't graduate. Instead,
And we
I
all
was
being
working. I
played.
entered the great city of Methuen.
Yeah, we're being played by Governor Moore-Healey. We're being played by Alan Sylvia. We're being played by Michael
My mother
Rodricks.
was on Women, Infants, and
We're
Children
just being
while I was
played.
growing up. But guess what? She ended up raising me through the support of our family, our community coming together. And I got to graduate from a local public high school, went to community college, which was an associate's degree that I could afford.
Wow.
And then I was blessed enough to be able to get a scholarship to become the first in my family to graduate. But we're all lay people over
Yeah.
here. Just because I have the title.
Well, see, that's the thing. Okay. That's the thing. Okay. People, some people, Diana's right. You know what I'm saying? Some people are scared. Okay. They are afraid. You know what I'm saying? She's fearless. She basically don't care. Okay. She's gonna work for us. She's gonna do it, man. She's gonna do the audit and and hope that people go to to her page, her campaign page, donate, you know what I'm saying, to her, because she needs paper, she needs pencils, she needs, things that, that she could write on, you know what I'm saying? So those are the things that she needs, papers, pencils, and paper, pens and stuff like that, things that, she could write on. So, I mean, but, a lot of these politicians, okay, and she's got a point, okay. A lot of these politicians, they're corrupt, okay. They're basically, they're not nice people. Alan Sylvia, Michael Rodricks, Cal Fiola, they're not nice people, though. You know what I'm saying? They're not, okay. And Michael Rodricks, we said, you cannot legislate another legislator. You can. I looked it up. You can actually audit another legislator, of course. And you see how you see how Michael Rodricks Senator Rodricks tries to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Governor Moore-Healey, whoa. Okay, they're basically all in on it. Okay, Mayor Paul Cogan, he's also in on it. And eventually he's going to get audited too. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, he's not getting away with nothing. And basically that recall still stands. It stands still. There is an event that is happening. I'm trying to find the what do you call it on Facebook. So I'm trying to find the event on Facebook. I know I have it somewhere.